Okay, we are live once again. We are once again not focusing. Fantastic. Please, I don't even know how to focus it. Yes, we've done it. Alright. Hi everyone. I'm back once again. Today we're going to talk about how to stay motivated. This is a question that I get asked constantly, and a question that I used to ask others constantly. So let's talk about it. How to stay motivated. We've all felt motivation. We've all felt that spark within us to go do something that maybe, we'll watch a video of something at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, we want to go mow our lawn in the middle of the night because we're so motivated for it. So we've all felt that. We know what motivation feels like, but the only problem is it's so hard for us to sustain it. We always want to know, how do we keep that same level of drive and focus that we had from that spark that we felt, usually in the middle of the night. So the reality is that it is impossible to stay motivated 24/7. No one can do it. Human nature will not allow it. So, and that's the reality. We can't stay focused 24/7. But in order to complete our goals, to complete the things that motivated us in the first place, what we have to exhibit is persistence. Persistence and consistency and discipline. Those are the things that are going to keep us motivated, or rather, once that motivation fails, once your talent kind of fails, hard work kicks in. Hard work kicks in, and that's what's going to get you to complete your goals, complete whatever it is that you were so motivated from the start to do. I like to say that motivation is the seed that you plant. And then the hard work, the consistency, the discipline, that's all the water that you pour in to really sprout that seed and make it grow. It's very unrealistic to stay motivated 24/7. We all know that. We've all experienced it. We've all felt the lack of drive after having a huge burst of energy, right? So here are some things that will kind of reignite your motivation, will get you back to your goals, but once again, all of this is to be said with a grain of salt, or rather take it with a grain of salt, because once again, the reality is that we cannot stay motivated 24/7. It's unrealistic to maintain that state of motivation. But, despite all that, there are things that can help you stay motivated, stay on track, and so here they are. The very first thing that you need to stay motivated, and really the number one, the key to kind of succeeding and carrying out your goals, your plans, is getting crystal clear on what you want. The problem is, with most of us in the modern society in this day and age, we have a general idea, we have a vague kind of plan of what it is that we want. Rather, if it's short-term goals, long-term goals, whatever the case is, we have a vague kind of plan. Many of us don't really know exactly what it is that we want, and so I want you to sit down today, or whenever you watch this, and really consider what it is that you want. What is it that you exactly want? Write every single detail of that plan, of that dream, of that goal, whatever it is that you want to stay motivated on. Take every aspect of it and write down the vision. Write down the vision of exactly, detail for detail, what you want to see. The moment you get crystal clear, you're going to have this moment of clarity within yourself. You're going to have this moment of clarity, and you're going to know which way to go. You're going to know which path to take. And so not only will that increase your motivation, but that will also kind of continue with that drive once that motivation slows down a little bit. You'll know where to go, and you won't have to stay motivated to keep pushing yourself to do it. What else keeps us motivated? Another thing is at times that you no longer want to do whatever it is you want to do, say you're at the gym, you have a motivational spark to get really, really fit, maybe to get shredded, you know? You'll go for a bit until that motivation dies out. What I like to tell people is, once that motivation dies out, it's very, very easy to see that the more time that we spend on something, the more results we kind of get. We see that progress, it comes in consistently. It's not that progress isn't there, it does come in, the more work that you put in. And so when you lose that spark of motivation, go a little bit further. Push yourself mentally just slightly further until you see that small bit of results, until you see that small bit of progress. Because what happens to us on a mental level is the moment we start seeing some little progress, some achievements, that we're making headway into our goals, or making headway into our project, our business, anything, you're going to get that motivation back once again. And it's a constant cycle of keep pushing yourself, you see some results, you're going to want to go further. Because human nature is that, you know, we'll reach our goals and it's never enough. We're going to want more and more and more. And so keep pushing yourself to the moment where you see progress, where you see results. That's where your motivation comes back again. And lastly, one last thing that is so incredibly important to keeping you motivated and keeping you on that drive is watching your dopamine intake. I made a video about dopamine last week. I talked in detail about detoxing from dopamine and how it's kind of ruining so many people's lives. So, you know, just to kind of recap, dopamine is what gets released in your pleasure center when you get those little small bits of pleasure, short-term instant gratification, right? That's when dopamine is released. And in our modern society, dopamine is released almost 24/7 on our phones, video games, vapes, everything. And so we're overstimulated. We're really, really, really stimulated 24/7, and that kills our motivation. That kills our motivation because we get little sparks of pleasure constantly. And we no longer need that emotional fulfillment that motivation drives. And so, again, one of the biggest things is watch your dopamine intake, understand when you're being overstimulated, and detox from dopamine regularly. It will reinvigorate the spark, it will bring your motivation back, it will allow you to continue going at your goals. So that's the video. That's really the video, is that you realistically cannot maintain a high level of motivation 24/7, but the more that you stay persistent, the more that you have that self-respect to do what you say you're going to do, and keep going, keep seeing the progress, the motivation does come back. There are times the motivation fails and slows down, but it always comes back. In my experience, in my client's experience, and every other successful person I know, the motivation always comes back. You just have to be consistent and keep going. Alright.